forget, we'll talk to you after the ball game.
It's the first West Coast roadie for the boys in green and gold, and they find themselves at T-Mobile Park right here in Seattle tonight as the Athletics and the Mariners hook up for a three-game set. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Seattle. Jenny Cavnar with Dallas Braden. Glad you're along with us. Well, of course, the Athletics off and running 11-11. That's good to be tied for first in the American League West. But now you got to play a team who, although they've struggled this year, still hold that title of being the best last year. You got to come out and give them your best.
The Mariners were the toast of the division last year, a club that won 90 ball games and took that division title home. And unfortunately for the Athletics, it has been tough sledding up here in the Pacific Northwest. They've lost 11 out of the last 13 series against the Seattle Ball Club. They were 6-7 last year. You know what you have to contend with when it comes to the Mariners. Great pitching staff. They got a big bopper behind the dish, 60 homer type of power from the big dumper. There's a lot to take away from this series, I think, starting out here, Jenny, and that's if you're going to be a division contender, you've got to beat the division contenders.
That's right, and we all know how great those starters are over on the Mariners. You want a match on the other side, and for the Athletics, they're trying to get their mojo back. It was a tough week at home, but out on the road, they've been pretty good, and JT Ginn has been excellent.
He's had a lot to do with that, and I think JT Ginn has done a phenomenal job of taking advantage of opportunities that he has earned, and I think he's going to run with. You're talking about a guy who's got an incredible, a super sinker, if you will, good four-seam fastball, good slider, and that has all led to the numbers you see there over his last couple starts. 9 1/3 innings for the right-hander, just 2 runs allowed. Opponents hitting just 100 against JT Ginn. This dude has been dynamite.
That'll be a great opportunity for Ginn to set the tone here tonight. It's a beautiful evening in the Pacific Northwest, and the roof is open at T-Mobile Park. Come on back with us. Enjoy some baseball tonight. It's the A's and the Mariners coming up.
This telecast is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota. Let's go places.
More home is possible for everyone. Visit Habitat.org to learn more. Again, that's Habitat.org.
We've got our Toyota fan poll question. Biggest area Athletics need to improve? I have no idea which one you're going, Shooty. I think you got a good idea where I'll go. What are you taking?
It's definitely walks allowed.
I'm with you.
Yeah, nothing worse than free pedestrians just walking on the bases, don't have to do anything to earn their way.
Yeah.
Throw strikes, make these guys earn their way on.
Defend 90 feet.
Absolutely.
And when you walk somebody, you can't defend a walk.
And you know those walks always come back to haunt you.
Your pitch count goes up, means you're not going to go deeper in games. We got to cut out these walks.
Yeah, the only thing good about walking if you're a postman and we're playing baseball.
All righty, enjoy the first game of this series between the Athletics and the Mariners, and hope JT Ginn has a good one.
Let's go.
Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
The road trip starting this week in Seattle. A little Cocoa Crisp action. Waiting in line to get in as the Athletics and Mariners take the field here. T-Mobile Park, the place to be for the next three. Let's get you the game time weather, brought to you by Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. We had a perfect day in Seattle. The roof is open. You can't ask for much more. 70 degrees. That's the temperature right now as we approach first pitch. The humidity at 40%. Light winds. I'm not going to tell you what the forecast is for the next couple days, partner. You just enjoy this. You soak it up.
Well, I tell you what, I can absolutely ask for more, and I'm going to. We need a dub. We need a series dub, and it starts right here, right now, in a place that, frankly, things have just not gone as well as you'd like to for the green and gold.
You would like to reverse the script on how things have gone between the A's and the Mariners for sure. Let's take a look at Marcotte's lineup here for game one. Nick Kurtz back in the leadoff spot, followed by Shea Langeliers. Carlos Cortez is going to hit third as the DH. Tyler Soderstrom will clean it up. Then it's Jacob Wilson in the 5-hole, Jeff McNeil, and the bottom of the order features Muncy, Butler, and Zach Geloff.
And they're going to be taking on a right-hander out of Cairo, Georgia. He is a Georgia Bulldog, and he has been a Bulldog on the mound for the Mariners thus far this season. His 4 starts have gone pretty well when you take a look at the numbers. 2-1 over 23 2/3 innings. He has allowed just a 2.28 ERA, Jenny. There's quality starts abound with this young man, and there is some fastball precision that we are going to see tonight from Emerson Hancock if he has his way as he tries to navigate a very tough lineup against the Athletics.
Well, let's take a look at the defense behind Hancock here tonight. Cal Raleigh does the catching, of course, the Gold Glove catcher who had 60 homers last year. Josh Naylor's at first, Cole Young at second, J.P. Crawford at short. Leo Rivas is at third base, Randy Rosarena in left, Julio Rodriguez in center, and Dominique Canzone with his first start in the outfield here this season is in right. There's a look at Dan Wilson, third season as the manager, and of course, the Mariners Hall of Famer, the former Mariners catcher who has the most games caught in Mariners franchise history.
I tell you what, Dan Wilson just looks like a big league manager.
Doesn't he? He does. Been nicely taking over for Scott Service. Gave him the job right away, and that first pitch from Hancock induces a swing and a miss from Nick Kurtz. An 0-1 count here for Kurtz. Trying to find a way to get on base and get around. Will be tough against this dude on the hill tonight. Kurtz with a swing into center field, and Julio Rodriguez almost overplayed it. Oh my goodness.
Well, Jenny,
don't see that often.
This ball was tattooed. That's 108 miles an hour off the bat. And what that is for Julio Rodriguez, that's 108 mile an hour knuckleball. Julio had a beat on it the entire time until this baseball, about 30 feet away from Julio, decides it's going to take a hard right turn and knuckles away from him. I mean, that is shades of Ozzie Smith playing the hop off the rock in the infield, barehanded. I mean, that is phenomenal.
That is a great comp.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, it's mind-blowing because we went from a week ago in West Sacramento where the wind was so crazy, right? And the ball was flying in all different sorts of directions. Here tonight, that's all just because the bat of Nick Kurtz. Pitch to Shea fouled back, 1-1.
I mean, this is, I'm almost at a loss right now. You can see his eyes get big because that's when your stomach starts to travel up into your throat as a defender going, oh my, am I going to be able to track this? What a quick reaction from Julio.
Well, that's it, right? To turn on a dime and your body's going in one direction and all of a sudden you're make that catch in the other. Let's take a look at the umpires here tonight. Mike Esterbrooks calling balls and strikes. Malachi Moore's at first. The crew chief, Alfonso Marquez, at second. And Willie Traynor is at third. 2-2 now as Shea fouls another. This is fun. Two great catchers in the American League West going at it here. I know it's been a slow start for Cal Raleigh, but it's always fun to see those two right side by side, whether one's in the batter's box and one's in the crouch doing the catching.
Well, I'm probably biased, which is understandable, but I think these are two of the better catchers in baseball, period.
This one's in the air towards right, and it'll get foul and out of play. I don't think you're alone in that.
Well, the guy behind home plate tonight, not doing the catching, calling balls and strikes, Mike Estabrook, selected to work in the postseason 5 of the last 6 years, and you don't just fall backwards into those assignments. This is a pretty good umpire back there. Low strike zone that has led to being overturned on 16 of 21.
And the sweeper gets Shea Langoliers. That's the first strikeout for Emerson Hancock.
Well, you can keep your attention on some of the secondary stuff from Emerson Hancock, and you understand why, because, I mean, that's a pretty attractive slider there. That's a big-time sweeper. And it's 77 miles an hour, which is a lot harder than a fastball combination that you're going to see from Emerson Hancock. And I alluded to the fastball precision from Hancock on the mound. As Carlos Cortez steps in. Cortez 270 on this season, over 16 games. Seen him in the DH spot.
In for a strike with the sinker. And Cortez getting a lot of action as a designated hitter with Brent Rooker in his absence on the IL. Good to see Brent doing some hitting progressions. Two outs and a 1-2 count here for Cortez. Here's the pitch, softly served, and it's going to get into center field. Cortez with a 2-out knock. I mean, Dallas, these are hard to come by for the Athletics.
Well, they are. And you know what, Jenny, what's funny about this at bat here is we can start with the fact that we're used to seeing this kind of stuff from Carlos Cortez. Just put together quality at bats, really regardless of the result, it's quality. And had a good buddy of mine, Mr. Healy, come on over and talk to us before the ball game, and he asked me, talk to me about Cortez, and I said, very handsy, quality at bats.
Soderstrom, this is chopped slowly back to the pitcher in Emerson, and he will feed it over to first. So we'll get back to your thoughts, because they were very good ones on Carlos Cortez, who's left on base. JT Ginn will come rolling out for the Athletics next.
Preferences/source. Type NBC Sports California and tap to confirm.
Gorgeous evening as the sun is setting here in the Pacific Northwest. Bottom of the first we go, and here come the Mariners and their lineup written out by Dan Wilson tonight. J.P. Crawford, the leadoff hitter. Cal Raleigh's hitting second. Then it's Julio Rodriguez. Josh Naylor in the cleanup spot. And Randy Arozarena, Luke Raley, Canzone, Young, and Rivas.
And the super sinker baller on the mound this evening for the Athletics, JT Ginn. Right-hander has been slicing and dicing in his 2 starts. And we've seen JT Ginn in a multitude of roles. Short out of the bullpen at times, long man out of the bullpen, and I think a lot of the work that he's done as the long man out of the bullpen has led back to this road.
Here's a ground ball to first, and Kurtz will take it to the bag to retire Crawford 1 out. Let's take a look at the rest of the defense for the Athletics. Brandon Kurtz on the infield. Jeff McNeil's at second. Jacob Wilson at short. Max Muncy at third. Shea Langoliers doing the catching. And in the outfield, left to right, we got Soderstrom, Geloff, and Butler. It's the first time Geloff is starting in his major league time in center field. He has played out there this year since being recalled. And now here's Cal Raleigh.
Well, there he is.
What do you do? Do you borrow a glove? Does he go out and get new gloves this year?
Oh, he got new gloves in the offseason and was ready to come into spring training.
Yeah, you saw him work diligently at the craft out there.
I did. And I think that's, again, I mean, regardless of what we have seen thus far from a defensive perspective from Geloff, what you have to appreciate is the willingness to come into camp and work and learn new positions. We talk so much about young guys trying to come up to the big league level and figure out who they are, all while trying to figure out who they are offensively as well, how they're going to be attacked, but maybe learning new positions defensively. We watched it with Tyler Soderstrom. And so for Zach Geloff, who there was so much talk when he got to the big leagues about what the future was going to hold. Having the versatility of a guy helps that man right there, Mark Kotsay, a skipper, and it allows him to move an athlete around.
Here's the 3-run to Raleigh. This is in the air, lifted out towards left. Soderstrom going back to the wall, and he'll leap up, but the ball is gone. Cal Raleigh, with his 3rd home run of the year, gives the Mariners a 1-0 advantage in the first.
Cal Raleigh jumps all over an elevated sinker. It's really more of a two-seamer at this point when you start to elevate that pitch. Just kind of end up throwing it onto the barrel of Cal Raleigh, and he took a pretty big swing here early, put the Mariners up early. Sodi tracked it back well. That ball just well out of reach of Tyler Soderstrom. Nothing he can do about that.
It's been a slower start for Cal Raleigh this year. Slower for the man at the plate as well, and Julio Rodriguez, who has an 0-2 count. Many wonder if a 60-homer season and a deep run into the playoffs all the way to the ALCS hurt the catcher at all for the Mariners as he came into this season, but things starting to heat up for him.
There's a lot of wear and tear on a guy like Cal Raleigh when you think about him hitting from both sides of the plate, and then the position he plays, catcher, the wear and tear on the lower half, just the body in general. We're talking about a guy in Cal Raleigh who is one of the best defensive catchers in baseball when it comes to blocking the ball. Not only that, but he's a master carpenter. The framework is outstanding.
You wonder too with the ABS how that's going to affect Cal's numbers, right, as time goes on, being someone who's been always highly ranked and rated in framing.
Well, it all but almost eliminates the skill set.
Here's the 1-2 to Rodriguez, and that gets back up the middle. Base hit for Julio. And with 1 out, it'll bring up Josh Naylor.
We're noticing something about Julio as well. Just I think his initial setup a little different than what we've seen in the past. That bat on the shoulder to start as opposed to maybe in a more vertical position, but he jumps all over a slider away here. And bangs it right back up the middle. It's now back-to-back knocks. Pretty good swings put together by Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez.
Here's Josh Naylor. You see the batting average for him at 146. Julio took off and easily and safe. Second stolen base of the season for Rodriguez.
Well, Julio wasting no time getting going. I think they wanted to see if Julio may have ended up coming off the bag at some point in time while a tag was applied. But Jacob Wilson doing a good job of not obstructing the path to second.
Here's the pitch, a one-hopper on the line and fair. Down into right field, it'll hit off the wall short. In comes Butler, and he'll throw it in as Rodriguez scores. Josh Naylor to second on an RBI double. It's 2-0.
Well, the Seamen have come out swinging this evening. That's 2 extra base hits here in the last 3 batters. Josh Naylor tucks this one neatly down the right field line, just out of reach of an outstretched Nick Kurtz.
Here's Randy Arozarena. Pitch high and inside, 1-0. This is the first real adversity we're seeing for JT Ginn in the starter role.
Well, remember, Jenny, in that White Sox series, the Athletics outpaced over the first 2 innings 12-1 by the Chicago White Sox.
It was a series where the A's able to just come away with 1 win, and they had to do it in extra innings. The 11th inning on Saturday, they won on a walk-off win. Max Muncy with a walk-off sac fly. That was the only time they led in the entire series. The other 28 innings, they were trailing. Trailing again here tonight. A ground ball for Wilson. Will keep Naylor at second, 2 gone. Now Ginn's gonna have to deal with the hottest hitter on the Mariners, at least here in the month of April, as Luke Raley comes up DHing tonight.
Yeah, fair to say Luke Raley's been seeing it well, hitting over 300. He's flexing the muscle, 5 long balls.
And the numbers that he has lead all Mariners in the category of batting average, home runs, RBI. A 1-1 count here. It's now 18-1 that the A's have been outscored in the first frame alone. That hit from Carlos Cortez was just the 9th time that the Athletics have had a hit in the first inning all year. In today's game, 23. So it's definitely been a challenge to get the scoring done early. Ginn checks back on the runner. Foul ball makes it 2-2.
Well, that was pitch number 23 here for JT Ginn. But again, with his arsenal, JT Ginn has the ability to even things out quickly with some early weak contact, just trying to get out of this first inning here.
And now full count.
You see Josh Naylor out there with his hand up. I think at times Josh Naylor just playing some mind games. Do I know what's coming? Do I not know what's coming?
And he starts to run. Here's the pitch, a swing and a miss. So Ginn gets the guy at the plate in Raleigh for his first strikeout. 2 scored off of 3 hits for the Mariners. They're up 2-0.
Well, this is right after the end of the inning here. You see JT Ginn, I got something for you. I got something for you. And you might be asking, what's all that about? Well, I showed you Josh Naylor at second base as Emerson Hancock ahead here 0-1. Had his hand up right before JT Ginn delivered the second to the last pitch of the at-bat to Luke Raley. And I talked about how Josh Naylor likes to play mind games. And he might not know what's coming. He might think he does know what's coming. And as a pitcher, when you start to see a runner potentially conveying pitches to the guys at home plate, well, unless you've been living under a rock, you can understand what kind of turbulence that can create. So that'll be something to keep an eye on.
1-2, and Wilson's going to serve this out towards left center. It'll drop for a base hit. That's now a 12-game hit streak against the Mariners for Jacob Wilson.
So this is what I was talking about with Naylor. See him? Watch the left arm go up. Well, that's a sinker. He's saying sinker. And it indeed was a sinker. But there was an at-bat before it, or excuse me, a pitch before that, where Josh Naylor had his left arm up.
McNeil falls behind 0-1.
And so he's communicating 2 different pitches. Now watch this. Now he's just flashing hands. But that's not it, Jenny. It was the entire at bat, which is why you can understand why JT Ginn might have a little something for him, according to JT Ginn.
McNeil didn't hold up. Check down, and Willie Trainer says he went around 1 and 2.
And now watch this. Yep, hey.
And this is nothing new with Josh Naylor, as you're describing. This
Right.
is something he's been doing for quite some time. As McNeil fights it off.
Well, this is something that in the game of baseball has been understood since we've been playing the game of baseball.
Right.
Now it has taken on the life that it has because of 2017 and everything that happened with the Houston Astros, and as I think a lot of us understand, probably some other teams as well
Sure.
that might not have been identified. But the idea is there was a discreet way to exchange that information as to not let the opponent know that you're on to them. Because if I do have an idea of what might be coming and I feel confident enough to relay that to my teammates, I don't want you to know that. And I want it to be our decision on whether or not we're going to believe the information that we think we have. But if I start to tip you off about that, well, now I'm going to give you the opportunity to make an adjustment. So in the day and age where there is no sign stealing per se.
Yeah, pitch calm and such. Here's a ground ball to the second baseman. He'll feed short onto first, but safe as McNeil able to beat it out. So young to Crawford gets the lead runner, 1 gone.
Good hustle by McNeil. Ball almost squirts through the middle. But Young able to do a good job of getting the backhand shovel on over to J.P. Crawford, who doesn't quite get enough on it to get McNeil.
I'll bring up Max Muncy.
But just to put a bow on it, what you have to consider now is that there's other ways that pitches could possibly be tipped, and that's with a pitcher setup, potentially a catcher setup as well. And if you're wondering how the pitcher might be tipping, well, think about glove height, glove position, tilt, distance away from the body.
The one to Muncy. This is chopped to third. Rivas to second, off to first, but Muncy beat the throw there. So just the 1 out. It's hard to do in back-to-back attempts. The A's hustling up the line as Seattle's defense has turned many a double plays this year, 29. Of course, when you have the pitching staff you do, that's a big reason why. Did you ever feel when you were a pitcher like you had a certain movement with a certain pitch that was a dead giveaway that even one of your teammates maybe noticed at spring training and let you know early about it?
You ever heard of a fellow by the name of Hideki Matsui?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, well, Hideki Matsui came over and joined the club. And when he did, the first thing he did was bring his interpreter, Roger, over and said, guess what? Oh, no. Deck, don't tell me.
Oh, no.
And he said, oh, yeah, buddy. We had it. We had it. We knew when the fastball was coming, and here's why. And he took me into the video room, showed me, and it was a light bulb moment, like, huh. Yep.
And you just don't realize when you're out there on the mound on repeat that those are the little tendencies that you do as you're switching pitches.
And it was an extremely veteran club in the Angels.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about, rest in peace, the recently departed Garrett Anderson, who was just, I mean, a great ball player, even better human being, but a veteran presence that saw those types of things.
Yeah.
Torrey Hunter. I mean, guys who they get 2-3 looks at you, and if you're giving anything away, they have that information. And now they're passing it along.
It'll be interesting to watch how it progresses throughout the course of this game. Bounces in the dirt, 2-2. I think for Naylor, though, when you wear a highlighter colored sleeve, you might draw a little more attention to it.
Well, not only that, but he was quite literal. I mean, I've seen guys motion less in the bullpen when they're throwing actual sinkers than what Naylor was doing out there at second base.
2 outs, and here's the 2-2 to Butler. Fouled. You don't mind a little pitcher jawing, though, at a hitter. I think that's happened once or twice in your own career.
Maybe.
There might be a mound involved. I don't know.
Got no problem with a fella defending himself.
Here's the pitch to Butler, and now in a full count.
Well, great at bat here by Lawrence.
See Zach Geloff on deck. 9-hole hitter here tonight for the A's. Muncie's at first. And he'll take off. Here's the pitch. And out of play. Lawrence went just 1 for 8 in that Chicago series. Over the homestand, 5 for 22. They have a homer in there. Muncie will take off again on the pitch. Here it is, a ground ball to second. Muncie has to hop over it, and Young over to Naylor for the final out. 1 left on, and 1 hit for the A's. We'll go to the
A phenomenal game.
Time is running out on our limited time walk offer. In honor of the second walk off of the 2026 season, enjoy a 2 for 26 ticket offer for when the A's return to West Sacramento. That's Tuesday, April 28th. Don't miss the next big moment. Hurry and take advantage of this limited time offer now at athletics.com/flash sale.
Well, back to the business of JT again. Let's see how he responds here in the second. He has the bottom of the order. Dominic Canzone, Cole Young, both left-handed hitters, and the switch hitter in Leo Rivas. A swing and a miss, 0-2. So talk about the emotions part, right, of pitching. You give up the runs in the first, Dallas. You have the interaction that you did with Josh Naylor going in. We saw him studying some film in the dugout. How do you just kind of calm the heart rate to get back to square one?
Well, look, it's early in the ball game, and you know, though the runs have come early, that doesn't mean that any more have to follow, and there's no need to panic. You just get right back on the horse. You continue to attack. If you took anything away from the first inning, it was, hey, you know what? I just didn't make a pitch to Cal Raleigh. I left some pitches up that if I finish those, I probably get a little different result. You know, if that sinker's down, Cal Raleigh probably just rolls it over to the second baseman.
In the air to right, Butler going back. He's at the wall and out of room. A home run for Dominic Canzone, his 3rd of the season. It's 3-0 Mariners.
Well, this is a slider that sits on the inner third here. And Canzone opens up a can.
Here's Cole Young. And the pitch missing 1-0.
Saw Lawrence Butler trying to figure out a way if he could scale this wall and maybe bring this back.
On the ground, sharply hit to second. The Kurtz one out.
You know, Jenny, something to think about too with JT Ginn, with that overhead delivery. And Athletics had a pitcher by the name of Daniel Mengden, who had a old school double pump type of delivery. And what that does is that gives these hitters an opportunity to really settle into the timing of your delivery. And so if you're a hitter that has a big leg kick or maybe a toe tap, that that allows you to really settle in and start to predict and get into the flow of the pitcher should he not do much to change that flow. And you just saw it there with JT Ginn, maybe a little more deliberate, not that little pump that we've seen at times. Here's kind of what I'm talking about. Here's a slow over the head.
Here's the 2-1 out to right center. It'll be the center fielder today, and Geloff with the catch. Probably a good feeling to get the ball hit to you early in the game.
Get it out of the way.
I saw Zach at spring training, a couple of innings in center field, a couple innings in right field. He made some good plays. I mean, you talk about the athleticism again. He made a play up against the wall. I believe it was against the Rangers out in Surprise. Kind of even got his former center field manager like, okay, all right. Crawford with a 2-0 count.
And with no Brent Rooker, understanding there's going to be days where you want to get Denzel Clark off of his feet as well with all the running around he does. You'd love to have another option that you can plug over in center field and maybe allow Lawrence Butler to play his primary position, right field, and settle in there.
And the pitch to Crawford down low. 4 pitches for a walk. That's 13 walks on the season now for Crawford. Now let's get a word from Jack in the Box.
Get my new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal for a chance to win $75,000.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Back in Seattle, 2 outs, 1 on here in the bottom of the second. Jenny Kavnar with Dallas Braden, and this is an opportunity for Scott Emerson to approach his pitcher and have a quick conversation ahead of Cal Raleigh. This meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Obviously, you know the damage that the Mariners catcher can do at the plate. He's already done a little today, a solo home run in the first. The Mariners have built a 3-0 lead over the A's. Dallas, the A's now in the second inning, or excuse me, in the first 2 innings combined, they have a -20 run differential.
Not great.
No, and you're playing behind often too, right? And we've seen the ability for the A's to come back, score late. They've been really good lately in 1-run games. But at some point, you just feel that deficit building, the pressure building as the month continues on early. And of course, for Cal Raleigh, what a magical season 2025 was. The 60 home runs, the most home runs in a season by a switch hitter. When you get to say, I did something better than Mickey Mantle did.
Yeah. Yeah, you take note of it for sure. This is back in the first inning. Again, it's a sinker that just didn't sink. It stays up. A lot of lateral movement, but
One and two, a called strike on the changeup.
And that's probably the one you wanted.
Crawford hanging out at first after the walk. See the runs per game, just 3.9. That's 24th in all of baseball. Of course, it's their great pitching staff that's kept them in so many games, especially as of late. Back to the second best in all of baseball at 3.22. Mariners just faced the Texas Rangers. They lead a series win over Texas. After losing the first game, they won back-to-back games and really did it in a fashion where you just saw their average run per game. They scored 7 runs in game 2 to beat the Rangers 7-3, and then 5 runs in yesterday's finale for a 5-2 win. In at 45 pitches here just in the 2nd inning. Trying to get that final out. There's the 1-2 to Raleigh, missing high. Julio Rodriguez has already had a hit in the game and scored a run. He's also stolen a base. Another 3-2 count here.
It's been a good at-bat for Cal Raleigh. JT Ginn looking for a different way to get rid of the backstop.
Crawford will take off on the pitch. Here it is. And it's out of play. Here's the 3-2, a swing and a miss. He gets Raleigh on the cutter. That's the 2nd strikeout for Ginn. But it was a solo home run from Dominic Canzone that has it 3-0.
Scan the code or go to the website to learn more.
This high roller is brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino. Yesterday, Zach Geloff stepped up, rifled the ball down the right field line. That would push 2 across for the Athletics. Geloff, in his speed, would move on over to third base and throw home.
Geloff up now to lead off the top of the 3rd. He'll take a strike.
Well, wouldn't you know it, Jimmy, another first pitch strike, another fastball for a strike from Emerson Hancock, who in his last start, 20 for 23.
Wow.
First pitch strikes.
Swing and a miss off the sweeper.
7 of 9 tonight on the season. 74% first pitch strike rate. That is dotting it up.
That's attacking, no question. In the rotation, in the absence of Bryce Miller, who I guess is good news on the rehab assignment. It seems like it's going to take him the full 30 days, probably. What do you think about that for the Mariners? It was close and inside. Geloff getting out of the way. I mean, you have another weapon waiting in the wings.
Well, you feel good about it. We understand how important depth is on both sides of the ball, specifically when it comes to pitching.
A swing and a miss with Geloff down on strikes. 2nd K of the day for Emerson Hancock.
Good fastball from Emerson Hancock. Time now to pop the hood on Emerson Hancock. StatCast powered by Google Cloud going to give us a peek inside the toolbox. That 4-seam fastball that we've seen, the big sweeper that we've gotten to look at. He's also got a sinker, get a ground ball when he needs to. He can cut the fastball. So there you go. You've got your 3 fastball variety, which is a 3-headed monster all its own. You sprinkle in a changeup. And how about that? That's a list of the top 5 traffic cops in baseball. Just limited, if any, traffic on the bases.
As Kurtz 0-2. And that combination, Dallas, to utilize your defense, right? Getting the ball on the ground and then the strikeout. 25 strikeouts for him through his first 4 starts. Just 6 total runs allowed. And 3 of the 4 quality starts. Oh, come on. You're not going to get on him.
Rhino, he had it. He fielded it cleanly. Thank God it wasn't hot off the bat like it's been hot out of the hand of Emerson Hancock. 95 mile an hour on that 4-seamer, and then How about the separation and velocity all the way down to 77, about 78. As Kurtz fouls it back on that sweeper. And that sweeper with that kind of separation and velocity can also double as a changeup of sorts when we're talking about that kind of distance between the fastball and the slider velocity.
At 8 feet.
Yeah, I mean, that was an old school way of describing, you know, what kind of velocity the fastball was coming with. You know, hey, that fastball's got a couple extra feet on it. Feels like it gets on you quick.
Kurtz 2-2. He lined out to Julio Rodriguez in the first. It wasn't an easy one, though. That ball was traveling quickly. Had J-Rod a bit fooled, but he was able to get back on it. Slow start for Kurtz, but over the last 15 coming into tonight, a .300 batting average, 2 home runs. And of course, we know he's walking. A lot of walking for Nick Kurtz. 24 walks to lead baseball here this season, and there's a swing and a miss. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of those too, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Hancock.
And it's on a good 4-seam fastball up top at 97. We showed you the 77-mile-an-hour sweeper. That's a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. That's 20 miles an hour were the difference in velocity on those 2 offerings. So you can see why it's just a tough at bat right now against Emerson Hancock.
Shea Langelier's up with 2 outs, and the swing and a miss off the sinker. Shea struck out on one of those sweepers you were describing back in the first. Well, just a little outside.
Good eye by Shea.
Shea was 0 for yesterday, and that snapped his on-base streak at 10 games. And popped up in the infield. Middle infielder's going for it. It'll be Crawford with the catch. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 3rd.
In total cash on a 2025 Ford Bronco Sport, only at your California Ford dealer.
A's Baseball is brought to you by the official Pest Prevention, ridding your space of pests officially.
Stunning evening here in Seattle. Mariners have a 3-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. I feel like you got to get out on the water, Dallas, while we're out here.
There's a lot of it.
There's a lot of it. Julio Rodriguez leading it off for the M's. A swing and a miss. JT Ginn's going to have Rodriguez, Josh Naylor. You're going to want to bookmark that one. And Randy Arozarena. 50 pitches for Ginn here. He had 49 through 2. It's taken Emerson Hancock 49 to get through 3. There's Naylor looming on deck. It's a battle of the Bulldogs tonight. JT Ginn went to college at Mississippi State. Emerson Hancock, as Dallas mentioned, a Georgia Bulldog. Never squared off in college in the SEC. They were there at the same time, just 10 days apart are the 2 pitchers. Drafted in the COVID year. Here's a squibbler. It is going to be foul. When you think about that, a COVID year for both of these guys in college, getting drafted. Emerson Hancock, of course, goes in the 1st round. JT Ginn goes in the 2nd round to the Mets. These had to be some strange years when you didn't have a resume of games played that year.
Well, I can tell you firsthand, as being the only dude in the ballpark, like in the stands, in a ballpark that held 50,000+.
One man, one mic, one stadium.
Yeah, and it's not like both teams couldn't hear me. I can be loud at times, Jenny. I'm not sure if...
Strange.
So that was...
Broadcasting the players.
That was fun.
It would have been terrible. You can't play in college or, of course, high school. You know what happened there. And to go through the whole draft process and be like, well, I haven't played baseball all year, but hopefully I get drafted high.
Yeah, no doubt a tough time, I think, for everyone, not just athletes trying to figure out the potential career path.
Two, that's strike three. Four-seamer. Locked up Rodriguez. 3 strikeouts for Ginn.
That's a well-placed heater here by JT Ginn. Can I help you, Julio? No thanks. Just looking.
Here's the battle we've been waiting for, Dallas.
Well, I think there's probably an exchange here between Naylor and Shea Langoliers. I'd be curious to find out what was said there from Naylor.
Here's the pitch. Naylor swings at it, and it's going to get down in shallow left field. Naylor going for 2, and the ball bobbled from Muncy.
And now here we go.
Naylor right back to that position at second base, where his arms were flailing, and signs may have been swapped.
Well, this one not nearly as hard hit as the first double he squared up back in the first inning. Muncy going into a slide. It was going to be a double all the way, as it were. But now we'll take a look, and trust me, all eyes in that Athletics dugout on Josh Naylor. And I'm sure JT Ginn's going to take notice as well. As Naylor peeking in, waving his hand. Now that might have been, it might have been him just trying to get the wrap around.
One and one.
Well, now he's got it up high, and he's almost acting like he's just adjusting his jersey.
It's almost as if he doesn't have the oven mitt on all the way on purpose, right? Well, now he's using the other hand.
And look, I'll tell you, we've seen that arm go up, the left arm go up, and it's gone up on breaking balls. So there's the arm up. And here's JT Ginn communicating, hey, I got something for you. Just Naylor says, okay, we'll see. Naylor looking again, left arm up. And it's a breaking ball. So whatever Josh Naylor has found, he likes what he sees. And remember, anything with the offhand from Josh Naylor has appeared to be of the firmer variety. Left arm up again, see if it's a breaking ball. That time it was a sinker. So now maybe there's a bit of an adjustment being made.
Well, back to your point, is Naylor doing anything?
Well,
certainly looks like he's peeking in at something there. And Arozarena down. So message not delivered. The sinker is strikeout number 4.
a sinker that Arozarena just under, believe it or not.
2 outs. It'll bring up Luke Raley. Raley struck out on a fastball, and you see Naylor reaching both arms up.
And that was a changeup.
Change up again with the swing and a miss.
And I think Naylor at this point just playing head games, and I can understand why JT Ginn had a little something to say to Josh Naylor in between innings.
These are times that I really wish I could just put you on the mound to see how you would react in these situations.
Yeah, no, I would have been totally respectful of the situation. You know, this is where I think it's where I'm supposed to tell you that you just put the horse blinders on and you.
Oh yeah, you just adjust. You adapt to anything. Here's the 1-2, and that's strike 3. JT Ginn with a nice bounce back inning, 3 strikeouts, and the double to Naylor leaves him on.
More ways to watch athletics baseball on NBC Sports California. Create family traditions every Sunday at the ballpark, starting at just $99. Our family 4-pack includes 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks, and 4 bags of chips and popcorn. Fans can enjoy exclusive items for kids and families at select Sunday matchups. Secure your family 4-pack today at athletics.com/tickets.
Top of the 4th, 3-0 Seattle over the Athletics. A 1-0 count for Carlos Cortez. It'll be Cortez, Soderstrom, Wilson due up against Hancock here. And Cortez getting ahead 2-0. You were talking about Cortez a bit earlier in the game, having a conversation with Ryan Healy, who's doing TV Next Door for the Mariners this series. And you were talking as this is in the air to right, and Carlos Cortez has left the building. A home run for Cortez, number 2 on the season. It is a 3-1 game.
Well, we can pick right up where we left off with Cortez last time. I was telling Ryan Healy how this guy does a phenomenal job of using his hands, and whether that's staying inside a ball to shoot it the other way or being able to pull them through and open up and drive a ball pull side, which you just saw. And it's pachyderm power time.
It's so good every time.
Oh, I love it.
Right back to the pitcher. Hancock knocked it down. Soderstrom a race to the bag, and he'll be safe. And they're going to come check on Hancock because he had the bullet right back to him.
Well, check out the swing here again from Cortez. This ball is in off at 94, just under the hands, and Cortez just too quick in there. Don't come in here. That is my no-fly zone. Stay out of this, Julio. Yard work.
Trainer checked on Hancock, and he appears to be just fine.
We wore this one. Sodi with a bullet right back up the middle. Looked like that's off the thigh. Hancock.
And now Jacob Wilson. Middle of the order has all the hits here for the A's, 4 in total. Cortez with 2 of them. Jacob's hit in the second extended his hit streak against his dad's former team. Jack was a Mariner. 12-game hit streak against Seattle for Jacob. Dallas, I think Carlos Cortez has been one of those sneaky, fun players for me when I sit up here watching batting practice. Just enjoy when he gets to the home run round. Here's a ground ball to the counterpart, and J.P. Crawford to second, on to first, and there's one of those signature double plays that Seattle's been turning. That's now 30 of them. 2 gone.
Well, much like JT Ginn, Emerson Hancock Also has a sinker he can deploy when in need of that ground ball, and he got a big one here. After Sodi followed up the Cortez homer with a single, Emerson Hancock trying to limit base runners.
Jeff McNeil swings at the first pitch, a ground ball to second, and Cole Young to Naylor. Home run from Carlos Cortez, though, got the A's on the board.
Thought he could sneak a fastball by him, Cortez says. Nay, nay. Time for liftoff. Pachyderm.
Brad Davis of Orangevale Adventist School in Orangevale, as well as other finalists, and vote for your all-star teacher. The grand prize winning teacher school receive $30,000. Vote now. How pretty is that picture? The sun just peeking through the clouds on its way out here tonight. It is absolutely picture perfect in Seattle today. A gorgeous one. As JT Ginn gets to work at the bottom of the order.
Well, it's one of my favorite cities to go to, probably my top. I loved it as a player. I think I might like it even more that I have a little more time to go out and enjoy the city. Doing what we do now. Get up every morning, go cruise the market. I love the tulips, Jenny.
I know you do.
It's just you and I here in the trust tree, right? I love the tulips.
This one hit well out to right. On the move is Butler. He'll have to play it off the wall. It gets past him. Going to second is Canzone. And Lawrence catching up to it. A leadoff double for Canzone, who hit it 100 and close to 12 miles an hour off the bat. 2 for 2, both extra base hits.
Yeah, that was a laser, no doubt. Canzone for the first time in the field this season, starting the ball game in right field. Maybe feeling like a complete ball player here this evening, because that is 2 bolts off the bat of Canzone.
That'll bring up Cole Young.
Mamma mia.
I was just going to say, you got 2 hands up from the Italians. And a nice reaction going on for Canzone here in the ballpark. Let's see if Canzone's hands get involved out there, just like his buddy Josh Naylor's was. Chopped over to Kurtz. He's going to flip it underhand to Ginn. And that'll be the first out as Canzone moves up to third. I didn't see anything, did you?
Nope. That's why I said Josh Naylor. Look, he's a guy I think you can easily say, if he's on your team, you absolutely love that dude. You love every bit of him. If he's not wearing the same uniform as you, I can understand why you might not have him at the top of your list of guys you're playing against.
Might be under your skin at some point during the season. Big swing and miss off the sinker for Rivas. Again, rounding out the second time through this Mariners order. You see the pitch count at 72. His highest this season was 78 pitches, and that was his last outing against Texas that got him through 5 1/3.
Well, is it fair to say that's a boatload of food?
2 boatloads. We're gonna have to get those up here at some point over the next 3 days. Good new food offering. McNeil will keep the runner at third. 2 gone.
I mean, who doesn't like a boatload of chicken tendies?
Has your name written all over it. Day game Wednesday, you want me to order up at 3? Because your sushi order last night could have fed a family for a week, but glad you got in 1 meal.
I did eat a small school of salmon last night.
Win in Seattle, my friend. You're like clockwork.
Fresh seafood out here for sure.
Yeah, fresh tulips, fresh seafood, fresh coffee. Pitch to J.P. Crawford missing. Let's see, your cheesecake shop closed, so you couldn't go there. I'm sorry, didn't mean to bring that up.
We were doing so well.
The alpaca sweater store is still open, and I know your collection's just at 1. Here's a ground ball. This is fair to Kurtz. He will take it himself, and JT Ginn able to strand Canzone at third. To the top of the fifth we go.
Athletics baseball on NBC Sports California. MLB Plus is new for 2026. You can stream MLB Network 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and select out-of-market games every single week. Plus live radio broadcast of every game, game day 3D, big inning, and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today.
Max Muncy leading the charge for the green and gold here in the top of the fifth. Muncy Butler Geloff against Emerson Hancock. The one run allowed was a solo home run to Carlos Cortez in the fourth inning. High in the air, shallow center. Julio's coming in, and J.P. Crawford will give way to the center fielder. One out. I mean, at some point, like JP, it's like, I'm all over this. Oh, but your track star coming all the way in. I guess we'll have to let you finish the deal.
Said I'm the quarterback out here. JP said, wow, I'm the quarterback in here. Well, I got the no-fly zone behind me. I got the J-Rod squad. Okay.
1-0 for Butler. Butler grounded out in the second inning. With the quality starts from Hancock, 3 of the 4 that he's turned in so far of that variety.
Well, on his way here potentially to another one, as efficient as he's been. Pitch number 64 on its way. Just one run allowed thus far against the Athletics.
Swing and a miss. Butler trying to battle, including that at bat in the second. Career against Hancock 0 for 7 is Butler.
Well, that's the thing about this A's offense, this A's lineup as of right now. Considering where they're at in the standings, I think you also have to respect the fact that they're where they're at, because this is an offense that is not fully charged yet. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have yet to really, I think, settle in, hit their stride, still kind of working their way through some things. The fact that you don't have perennial 30 home run hitter in Brent Rooker right in the middle of this lineup as well, who adds protection.
He had slower starts, obviously, from Nick Kurtz. There's Rooker on the road trip. Lawrence just trying to hang tough here. He's going to have pitch number 10 coming for him. Is Rooker wearing his hitting coach hat as well as rehabbing this trip?
Well, that's the thing about being able to have Rook on the road with you, is it's a great sounding board for the younger players and really anybody else in that dugout.
We're just admiring how Hancock kind of breezing through, but Lawrence is like, no, I'm going to drive this pitch count up right here, right now.
But you see he's talking to Chris Crone, breaking the at-bat down. Now a 10-pitch at-bat, 11 on its way.
Here it is, and in play, Lawrence Butler winning the battle. Gives the A's a base runner with 1 out. Good for Lawrence. That's his first hit against Emerson Hancock in his career.
Anytime you ratchet up an 11-pitch at bat and it ends with hard contact and you on base,
there's just not many things that feel better for Lawrence Butler in an at-bat where he had to just kind of spoil some pitches and finally able to put together a great swing with a bullet up into that right center gap.
Pitch to Geloff. Lawrence taking off, helmet off, and he's in on the bag safe. Sounds like a game of Twister with the base.
Well, again, the Law Dog picking a perfect spot to run, very confident in his timing. I mean, that's the game today with these base runners who are base stealing threats. You see them start to work their way off the bag with a little momentum. How about the slide from Lawrence? Yep.
This foul for Geloff. Stolen base number 4, by the way, for Butler. Got quiet early in the season and then starting to get his looks. The A's, by the way, 17 for 18 in stolen base attempts. And they got Lawrence picked off. You see the dugout barking, Dallas. Do you think it's something to do with Hancock?
Well, I think if they have an argument, it's about whether or not Emerson Hancock came to a complete stop or not.
That erases the runner in scoring position. Ground ball to second. Going over to first. And that will be the final out. A's trail by 2. Go to the bottom of the 5th. Get up to the minute athletics highlights and breaking news on X. Follow us at NBCS Athletics. This is fantastic.
Oh, the Great Pyrenees.
Bark in the park night here. I mean, you would be in hog heaven out there.
Oh, that looked like a hog with fur. Goodness. That dog has not missed a meal. Look at that thing.
How many hot dogs do you think that dog has crushed tonight?
Oh, how many packs of hot dogs?
Right? Well, 1-1 count here for Cal Raleigh. Bottom of the 5th. So this is that pitch count we were talking about. JT Ginn at 78 pitches. That's been his max so far. Third time he's trying to get through this Mariners lineup. Raleigh has the home run and the strikeout, and now a 1-2 count. Bounces the slider in. It was the slider that Cal took out for the homer, and then he saw a heavy dose of everything else in his second at bat, and the changeup got him to strike out. What are you thinking pitch selection wise?
Well, you saw him go to that slider. I mean, it could be the cutter up and in under the hands. Maybe you straighten him out with a 4-seamer at the top of the strike zone. Doesn't necessarily have to be in, just something with a different movement profile than what he's seen.
Here's the pitch and a grounder back towards the pitcher. He'll take it himself. So JT Ginn went to the sinker and got that ground ball for out number 1. Now let's get a word from Echo.
It's time to go yard. Echo, power on and on.
1 out, bottom of the 5th. Julio Rodriguez coming up to face JT Ginn.
J-Rod 1 for 2 tonight. Had a single, struck out looking. Here's the pitch. He'll swing at it. Hard grounder over to Muncy. 2 gone.
Understanding that success is not a linear process. I think we're watching Max Muncy get more and more comfortable over there at third base, just in terms of footwork, the internal clock over there at third base, something you got to get used to. You know, one of the biggest things is learning how to track the baseball into the hitting zone and when to avert your eyes from the pitcher to the hitting zone. Because if you're watching the baseball out of the hand all the way to the plate, you get somebody to turn on one, or in this case, Josh Naylor, a left-hander who shoots one over to you, you've probably ran out of time to make a move.
Naylor 2 for 2. Both of them doubles. He has the RBI as well. And a ground ball right side. McNeil will go to his left, and 3 up, 3 down. All ground ball outs for JT Ginn through 5.
We're calling all college and grad students. You can grab your friends and head to the ballpark with this special offer. Get $10 tickets on select regular season games throughout the entire 2026 season. Get your discounted tickets at athletics.com/value.
So you're buying the tickets. You got a college ID.
Sure do.
Right?
Sure do.
So you're buying?
I'm in. I'm in.
I like it. Nick Kurtz, so 1-0 count. 1 walk in each of the last 10 games for him. That's the longest of his career. In fact, he's reached base in 16 consecutive games. Still looking to here tonight. A swing and a miss. By the way, Shohei Ohtani extended his on-base streak. What's that sitting at now?
52.
Wow.
That's all.
Dodgers and Rockies had that wraparound series in Colorado. I don't think we have one this year where you start on a Friday and end on a Monday.
Not mad at it.
No. Not my favorite idea in baseball. Swung on, driven. Out towards right center field, and Nick Kurtz has a homer. The no-fly zone just received a Nick Kurtz souvenir.
Yeah, they got to fly over.
That's the 3rd home run of the year for Kurtz, the 7th straight game reaching base, and he has cut the Mariners' lead. They're now up 3-2.
You knew coming into the ball game against Emerson Hancock, we were going to get a fastball. It was a matter of picking one out that you could put a good swing on. And Kurtz did just that and pumped one out of the ballpark.
Anglers will foul this off.
See where Raleigh flashes the glove, maybe not quite high enough. Get off me, baseball. Nicky Nukes. That's a great swing from Nick Kurtz. Slowly but surely, you're starting to watch him churn up the offense. Big Amish delivers. Churn it up.
Just a couple days ago, Kurtz had the home run against the White Sox. That was 115 miles an hour off the bat in West Sacramento. Got the Athletics in a game they were able to win in extra innings. We said it might be slow for a guy as big as Nick Kurtz and kind of the functionality of his swing. But man, when they come, and they come in bunches, it's nice to see, and that's going to hit Raleigh from Langelier's swing. So catcher's checking on catcher here.
Yeah, this thing's going to rattle around down there. Not the most comfortable place to wear a foul ball.
I can't imagine. The guy in the batter's box is probably the only one that can know that. So checking on his brother in there. 3-2 count here for Shea. Payoff pitch, well struck to center field. Julio Rodriguez on the move back, and Langeliers is added. A tied ball game in Seattle off a Shea homer. He has 7 on the season.
And this is the type of offense you start to expect from this Athletic lineup. It is power packed from top to bottom. And it looks like that big blast is going to knock Hancock off his rocker. And Wilson out to get the right-hander. Virginia indeed will not log that quality start. A's have tied the ball game here with back-to-back blasts.
And hangs out. This powerful performance is brought to you by Xfinity. Nuked. Nick Kurtz steps up and delivers and closes the gap, and the man they call Shea Langeliers delivers a back-to-back blast, and the green and gold have knotted it up here in the 6th inning. Shea taking a look at the handiwork. Nick talking it over with Zach Geloff and the rest of the boys. And because Emerson Hancock has hit the showers, Jose Ferrer is on now.
Well, the guy who's also gone deep in the game, and Carlos Cortez. 3 solo shots for the A's. You mentioned it, Dallas, back-to-back. The second time the Athletics have now gone back-to-back this season. Warren Sputler and Max Muncy did it against the Astros back on April 3rd. That'll get through. Carlos Cortez keeps adding to his offensive evening. 3 for 3 now.
Dude breaks. He'd only seen a lefty one other time coming into this at bat, 1 for 1. Go ahead and book it. Hitting a cool brand against Southpaws.
Nobody out, 1 on. He'll bring up Tyler Soderstrom. Talked about the offensive woes of the Athletics in the first couple innings of a ball game. But even when they've been behind this year, the fight has been real. Able to scratch and claw and get right back in this thing to reset it in the top of the 6th. There's Emerson Hancock, who went 5+ innings.
Well, with that knock for Carlos Cortez, that's his first career 3-hit ball game. And we ain't done yet, folks.
Oh, plenty of game left here. 5+ innings for Hancock, the 7 hits, the 3 earned runs, all homers. There's the lefty and Hogan Harris now warming up for the Athletics.
Well, Randy Arozarena will lead off the 6th inning.
Soderstrom into left. Rosarena will make the catch. And that'll be the first out here in the 6th.
Jay Willie has been swinging a hot bat. Now and zen for Jay Willie, the 12-game hit streak against the Seattle Mariners, hitting over 400 during that stretch. 3 doubles, a homer, that 990 OPS. And we talked about the doubles and the homer, flashing a little power, but just finding different ways to get on base during that time as well. If it's not just via knock, those turn into run scoring chances.
Quickly down 0-2. It's always good when you see a divisional opponent well. Jacob in the air to right field, and the catch made by Canzone. 2 gone. I'll bring up Jeff McNeil for the 3rd time tonight. Check over on Cortez.
Ferrer, Jenny, has had his fair share of struggles really against both sides of the platoon, but it's the lefties that have really given him fits. Lefties hitting over 440 against them. 444 to be exact.
Nailed the 3rd lefty that he's faced since he entered the game. Of course, Cortez had the single to put him on first. And Soderstrom flied out. Oh, 0-2 as McNeil checks back with Mike Estabrook. Location of that pitch. McNeil, a career 300 hitter in the month of April. Came into the game hitting .302 this month. It's funny, it seems to be quite the opposite for a lot of players. A colder month of April when you compare them to the other 5 months of the season. Some slow starters around the league. But now McNeil, you light his hair on fire and let him go in April. I like it.
He's a hitter. That's what hitters hit.
Here's the 0-2. And it'll be a 1-hopper over to 3rd, trying to barehand it. McNeil will beat it up. So hitters do hit, I guess. It'll be an infield hit for McNeil. It'll move Cortez to 2nd, and with 2 outs, it'll extend this inning to Max Muncy.
Well, left on left, McNeil has yet to punch out against a left-hander. And this one just fought off over to the 3rd base side. I think it's fair to call it a fly ball to 3rd.
Felt that way. Muncy with the foul ball to the seats.
Well, it was Max Muncy who was the hero in the lone win of the series against the White Sox with the sac fly in extra innings. Fair to say, Ferrer has filled it up. 15 strikes, just 1 ball out of the strike zone.
And there's another ball that's going to hit Muncy. He's on the ground. And here comes Jeff Collins, the trainer. Muncy hit by pitch is going to load the bases, but you just hope he's all right.
Yeah, I think this is just one of those that catches you in the perfect spot. I mean, that is right on the top of the foot slash ankle. Even with that protector on, wasn't able to do much. That lit Muncy up. He's going to take his time getting down to first base. Oh, babe, jog it off.
Bases loaded for Lawrence Butler. He started the inning with back-to-back home runs that ran Emerson Hancock, the starter. Now Jose Ferrer has himself in a jam. Butler tapping his helmet. He's trying to get an ABS call. Was that just not in time?
Guess not. You know what? That may be to their benefit. The pitch looked pretty good to me.
Here's the 0-1, and it's a grounder back to the pitcher. It's in his glove. He was looking for it and able to finally find it. Leaves the bases loaded, but Dallas, we're all tied with a couple of bombs.
That's right. Not before the damage was done. Nicky Nukes Bangaliers, and we got a brand new ball game.
A couple of fellas who hit a couple of home runs back-to-back for Kurtz and Langoliers. They tied up the game at 3-all. Bottom of the 6th, JT Ginn continues to work. He is Randy Arozarena, the right-handed hitter. And we'll see where Mark Kotze goes with a string of lefties due up. Called strike 0-2. That's something you know you're going to get with the Mariners, right? That kind of like strict platoon lineup.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, look, with Raleigh and Rivas, that helps things. A couple of guys that can move to the other side of the plate when the opposing manager does decide to match up.
Count even at 2.
Mariners fans trying to get the Randy chant booming.
A fan favorite, no doubt.
I mean, dare we say Mexico's favorite son?
It's great.
Isn't it? I love it.
I'm not sure he was a favorite of his MLB teammate, though, when he tried to reach for the handshake. I know. Old wounds. Strikeout here. JT Ginn collects number 6, and that will bring out Mark Kotze. Well, Dallas, it was a struggle in the first, but Ginn really settled into the game.
Oh, he did a great job. I mean, after some loud noise with the homer from Raleigh, RBI double from Naylor, JT Ginn was able to limit the damage after that. The homer to Canzone, that gave the Mariners 3 runs. And the A's are going to give the Mariners Hogan Harris when we come back. The new era of baseball in Las Vegas is right around the corner. For only $19 and a penny, you can secure priority access to everything A's, including the chance at season tickets ahead of the general public. With your deposit, you'll also contribute to the youth softball and baseball initiatives throughout Southern Nevada.
To join the next era of green and gold baseball, visit athletics.com/Vegas.
JT Ginn, 5 1/3 for him in the ball game, and thanks to the efforts of his offense, evening things up. In line for a no decision here. 6 hits, the 3 runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts for JT Ginn.
Yeah, I'd say a pretty good ball game for Shooter Ginn. He's going to turn it over to southpaw Hogan Harris, who was joined by another left-hander this afternoon. He is no longer the lone wolf. And I think having an opportunity right now to try to silence that puddle of left-handers that you mentioned, Jenny, is why Mark Kotsay has gone to Hogan, a guy who I think we have steadily watched attack these left-handers. There's been a bit of a bumpy path at times. I think we've seen him lose command against the lefties. But I think ultimately what Hogan Harris comes with is a great fastball. He's got a big curveball as well. You just saw a changeup there. But I think he's got the ability to learn from some of the past.
2-2 is the count for the pinch hitter, Rob Refsnyder.
And he's a guy who's, I think, done well in spots later in the ball game.
And a swing and a miss, so gets the righty out. Back-to-back strikeouts as Ginn got Rosarena, and now Hogan Harris gets Refsnyder.
And that's a big reason why I think Hogan Harris in a spot like this is valuable, because of the ability he has not only to neutralize left-handers, but righties are hitting 130 against Hogan Harris. Lefties not enjoying a ton more success, but just over 200 against the southpaw. But you feel pretty good about the lefty or the righty.
0-2 is the count for Canzone. 2 for 2 tonight. The homer in the second made it 3-0 at the time. And there's a liner right to the glove of Jeff McNeil. That'll be the final out here after 6. Still tied at 3. Zach Geloff will lead the charge coming up.
Call 800-5-CHAMPS.
True baseball fans need Wi-Fi that's so reliable it never gets caught looking. Xfinity Internet keeps you in the game at one price for 5 years and allows you to get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that. Top of the 7th here in Seattle, and a battle brewing, all tied up at 3. Zach Geloff will lead things off for a new reliever for the Mariners.
It's going to be Matt Brash this time. Matt Brash having a pretty good go of things here to start his season. 9th appearance for the right-hander out of Dan Wilson's bullpen, and going to try to work his way through Zach Geloff, and then it's going to turn over to a couple guys who did some damage last time around. That's Nick Kurtz and Shea Langoliers. Geloff fouls off the 0-1. And we were talking, Jenny, about the Seattle Mariners being the toast of the division last year. 90-game winners as a club. We know what the pitching staff has to offer. We know it's been a slow start for them as a group. Cal Raleigh, a slow start, who has homered tonight. But if you're going to have success in this division, it's teams like this that you're going to have to play tough. You're going to have to beat. You're going to have to get over the hump. The fact that you've lost 11 out of the last 13 series, you had a losing record against them last year. These are the things that have to change in the division.
And Geloff down on strikes. He'll be the first out.
A slider stays inside, but heads south. Geloff can't lay off.
That'll bring up Nick Kurtz. I'll take a strike. You mentioned the flawless numbers so far for Matt Brash this year. That just adds to a bullpen, Dallas, that is so tough, and it backs up your point that when you face the beast, you got to find a way to beat him, right? And it's about pitching for the Mariners. It always has been over the last couple years, and it'll continue to be. In that bullpen, consistently well rested, right? When your starters are going deep into a ball game, they're averaging about close to 6 innings per start. Those guys right there, just a tough rotation. So that bullpen coming into today, just 68 innings pitched over the course of the 22 games. That's the 3rd fewest in all of baseball.
I mean, that just, it goes to show what starting pitching does for the entire team. Typically, if you have starters going deeper into the ball game, that means as Nick Kurtz works another walk.
It's 11 straight games now that Nick Kurtz has a walk. Tying Jack Kuss from 2008.
Well, top of the 6th, bang, to the big part of the ballpark. Shea Langoliers would tie the ball game. And that's where we sit right now. And it goes to show what happens when this lineup starts to wake up. And there's really no safe spot.
Quickly 0-2 on Shea.
And again, it bears repeating, even without the presence of a guy like Brent Rooker, this team has found ways to try to score runs in different ways outside of the long ball, which is a big part of their identity. I mean, you've got guys up and down the lineup that can hurt you if you make a mistake, but the fact that they've been able to create runs in different ways, not just via the homer.
That's tonight, all solo home runs for the runs. 23 total homers on the season now through 23 games tonight. This is popped up. Naylor going back towards the grass. He'll give way for Cole Young, and in foul territory, he'll make the catch. 2 gone. That walk for Kurtz, 25 on the season. And that walk streak of games sitting at 11 now. He's approaching Ricky territory. Ricky had a walk streak in 1993, a 14-game walk streak. Carlos Cortez has a streak of hits going. 3 for 3 tonight. A pair of singles and a solo home run. Got the A's on the board when they were trailing 3-0 in the 4th.
You take a 4-knock night.
Batting average up to 325 for the man who's been DHing. In the air to right. Canzone with the catch, and that will end the top of the 7th. We'll stretch in Seattle, knotted at 3.
The NBC Sports California app. Download now.
This telecast is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
Skyline in Seattle. The lights are on, glimmering over the water here tonight. 3-3. Bottom of the 7th, Hogan Harris remaining in the game with the lefty Cole Young up. Take a strike. Switch hitter Rivas on deck. I mean, Hogan Harris, really, Dallas, you can almost call him the Swiss Army knife, right? A guy that's delivering, as you mentioned, to both sides of the platoon, the ability to pitch multiple innings.
Well, the writing was on the wall when the game changed and the 3-batter minimum was introduced. That meant no longer was the lefty going to be able to just hide in the bullpen and go grab the lefty and have his day be done. you were going to be required to see multiple batters, and that's where I think, you know, lineup construction, the focus.
Popped up, and Kurtz into foul territory with the grab. One down.
The focus really became, hey, you're going to have to get right-handers out. That is the way it is. You see Luzardo and Legumina starting to loosen up now for the Mariners. Looks like it'll be one and done for Matt Brash.
Here's Rivas hitting from the right side.
But that was a way that I felt like young left-handers who hadn't quite cracked the big leagues yet could start to find their pathway and carve out a quicker pathway for themselves to the big leagues. Is figure out, hey, how can I do this consistently? If I'm not going to be a pitcher who's looked at in the starting rotation, maybe just up. I'm going to have to figure out a way to be good against the other side. That means right-handers. So whether that's developing a new pitch, refining one you have.
It's kind of a place too that Hogan Harris started, right? We saw him start some games at the beginning of his career with the A's in 23 and 24. 15 total starts in his career before fully committing out to the pen last year. And here a strikeout into the fastball, 2 gone.
Well, I think a roll out of the bullpen for Hogan really suits his personality. Give me the baseball, tell me when to go get outs, and I'll go get them for you. You know, there's, I think, the desire to try to pace oneself when you're a starting pitcher, and I think it's understood why. But I think there's a lot to a guy saying, look, just let me go out there and run. Let me give you everything I got for as long as you need it. And Hogan Harris very quickly ahead of Crawford is kind of showing you that right now. There's a couple good fastballs, come and get them.
Looking to get his 5th out of the ball game. Ground ball foul. Mariners have a couple injuries that they're dealing with. Brendan Donovan was placed on the 10-day IL. They've been not using him the last couple of days. He sat over the weekend against Texas. So he was placed on today. They have Victor Robles on the IL. So missed some key pieces. Of course, J.P. Crawford started the year on the IL. Got a late start to the season. That move that had to be made today for Brendan Donovan, I think it got a lot of people excited. Is this going to be the emergence of Colt Emerson? Going to start the clock on the guy they signed a nice big extension for before he ever played in the big leagues.
Well, not quite.
Not today. 0-2, lifted up, left side. And it'll be the shortstop, Jacob Wilson, to call for to make the catch. 3 up, 3 down for Hogan Harris. We'll go to the 8th.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics.
First pitch is strike to Tyler Soderstrom.
The Mariners got a new arm out there. It's Casey Legumina. This will be the 8th appearance Casey out of this Mariner bullpen.
Soderstrom laid off.
And this is a place where he's had some good success, Jenny, against left-handers. Lefty's just 2 for 18 against Legumina. Overall, opponents hitting 300. Righties, they've done some damage. 10 for 22, that's good for a 455 average.
He'll see a righty next in Jacob Wilson, and then it'll be another lefty in McNeil. The 1-2, and Tyler Soderstrom will add to the hit total for the left-handers. Into left, he's stretching it for 2. Here comes the throw off the mark, and he slides in safe. Soderstrom took a gamble, and it gets him in scoring position here with nobody out in the 8th.
And the benefit comes with Rosarena going into a slide to try to cut this ball off. And you go into the slide so you don't have to end up chopping your steps, and you think that maybe I can pop up quickly, get rid of it, which he does. It's a strong throw, but just off to the side of second base. And Sodi, I think once he saw Randy hit the slide, he hit the gas pedal in there ahead of the tag from Young.
Here's Jacob Wilson. He wastes no time. A grounder into left, and Soderstrom will get a stop sign at third. First and third, nobody out, with Jeff McNeil coming up, and the A's are cooking.
Well, the Wizard with the wand comes through again. Shoot a hole, Jay Willie. I mean, that's just textbook for Jacob Wilson. Now nobody out, runners on the corners. We're going to want to talk about this a little bit, and I can understand why. Again, you've got Jeff McNeil, who can put the bat on the baseball with the best of them. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Pete Woodward just wanting to make sure, hey, you understand Jeff McNeil can put the ball in play here. Let's not try to get cute. Let's make our pitches. But I think if you're Legumina, what you'd like to do is be able to get yourself a punch out or a pop up, get that initial out, and then from there take your chances. If you could roll a double play up here late in the ball game, not terribly interested in trading 2 outs for 1 run.
Infield in for the Mariners, just on the edge of the grass. Go ahead run standing at third in Soderstrom. See the numbers today. A's haven't had too many opportunities, just 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position. Seattle's had a lot of opportunity, 1 for 8. A's have collected 11 hits in the game. Three of them for homers, all solo. Tied things up. That was in the 6th. Here's the 3-0 from Legumina in for a strike. Neal had the infield single in the 6th. A's continued to rally after the back-to-back home runs from Kurtz and Langoliers. They got to bases loaded, but unfortunately no more. Full count now. And the payoff pitch missing. That will load the bases.
Oh, great at bat from Jeff McNeil. And I think Max Muncy might be ready to break this ball game open here. I talked about him looking for spots just like this the other day, wanting to show what he can do.
Muncy swings at the first pitch, a fly ball out to right. Canzone will make the catch. Soderstrom will take off. Here comes the throw, a one-hopper in. Soderstrom safe. The go-ahead run for the A's comes home on a sacrifice fly from Max Muncy. 4-3.
They're thinking about taking a look at it. I'm not sure it's going to do much good. Max Muncy able to get this ball deep enough out into right field. Going to give Tyler Soderstrom the opportunity he needs to come on home. You see the tag just not in time. Just did graze the back of the left leg of Tyler Soderstrom. But, you know, one thing about watching Canzone, who, again, playing his first game of the season in the outfield right now. They're going to check on third. Nope. Left right on time. You can see Sodi just getting that left hand in. But for Canzone, he caught that ball far off to the left side of his body and had to bring it all the way back to the throwing hand in order to get the throw off. And if you have time to get around the baseball as an outfielder, you like to catch that no more than center line, if you could even over your throwing shoulder, to shorten the distance of the transfer of the baseball so that you can get rid of it that much quicker. And if that was an opportunity, see top right corner, you see how far he's got to bring that ball back down. And in a play where a split second could make all the difference, A's are able to capitalize.
Butler fouls it back, 1-2. And that's the aggression you love from the scouting report you're talking about. Canzone hasn't even been in the field. You talk about not having the strongest arm out there. Knowing your personnel, and the A's capitalizing. In the driver's seat here, looking to add. Wilson at third, McNeil at second. Here's the 1-2 to Butler, fouled. Lawrence 1 for 3 tonight. Also added a stolen base.
Well, he worked an 11 pitch at bat back in the 5th.
I love the reward for the hitter when you battle through. Get the knock. Two ripped into right. Here comes Insurance. Wilson home, getting waved is McNeil. Canzone won't throw it towards home, and it is now 6-3 Athletics. Butler coming up big.
After the bobble, Canzone had no option. That was a done deal. That's a 2-run knock for Lawrence Butler. See again, Canzone just kind of dribbling the baseball out there. No throw, that allows McNeil to come around easily. And the A's have started to separate.
Geloff will take a strike.
Go to work, Law Dog.
Butler's going to take off. They might have him picked off. The tag, and out at second.
Well, something we know about Lawrence Butler is he's always looking to try to make something happen. And I think in a spot like this where you've been able to string some really good at-bats together, especially in game one, if you have an opportunity to force Legumina to continue to work, ratchet up that pitch count all the more. Pitch number 22 on its way. You might have a chance to chew a little bit bigger bite out of that bullpen.
1-2 for Geloff. Looking for his first hit tonight. Lift it high in the air, out to left, and Randy Arozarena will come to meet it. 3-run score. Lawrence Butler drove in 2, and now the A's are up by 3.
Keep your Toyota a Toyota.
This game summary is brought to you by Toyota. Well, the Mariners collected their runs in the first couple of innings. That included home runs from Cal Raleigh and Canzone. A 3-0 lead is what they had working with, and then the A's went to work. 3 solo home runs. Cortez, Kurtz, and Langoliers. JT Ginn started the game, pitched into the 6th, and Emerson Hancock was ran in the 6th off the back-to-back shots from Kurtz and Langoliers. And then it was time to add in the 8th. 3 runs to give the Athletics a 6-3 lead. That brings in a defensive replacement in Denzel Clark out in center field. Zach Geloff removed from the game. Mark Leiter Jr. working on the bump for the A's now.
Well, Mark Leiter Jr. has been staked to a 3-run lead here. Close pitch may have been just a bit low. Very close.
Two and 2's the count now for Cal Raleigh. I've seen both catchers in this game take a little bit of heat and spin when the opposing catcher's at the plate. I think there's a lot of admiration between these two fellas. 2-2 fought off. Raleigh obviously took the catching world by storm, took the baseball world by storm in a 60 home run season. But you look at where Shea Langoliers has come along as this has popped up high in the air. Now towards right center, it'll be Denzel calling Lawrence Butler off. They'll have a little fun with that too. Let's get to the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Service Champions. This West Coast road trip started today, and then it'll take us to the Central Time Zone, where the Rangers are coming up over the weekend in Arlington. Next homestand will be next week. The Royals and the Guardians coming to town. And now Shea Langoliers and Mark Leiter talked it all over, and that meeting on the mound was brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Julio Rodriguez coming up. Perhaps a reminder or two.
It's just a reminder that, hey, you have a 3-run lead. Let's attack. Let's continue to attack here. And at this stage in the ball game, the last thing you want to do is start putting traffic on the base path and open up holes and giving the Mariners a chance to build any sort of momentum.
Rodriguez 1 for 3.
Well, again, I think just kind of noticing the adjustment that Julio Rodriguez has made at the plate with his initial setup. You wonder if he's found himself a little more comfort as far as timing is concerned. We'll see him start with that bat laid on his shoulder. To begin the season, there was a waggle going on. So you see the bat laid on the shoulder.
This will be a flare into right, and it'll get down. 1 out hit for Julio Rodriguez is his second of the night.
Julio just scooping this one up off the bottom of the strike zone. Yeah, you can see him shaking those hands. He felt every bit of the vibration on that one.
Bring up Josh Naylor, and he swings at the first pitch. He'll find a hole on the left side. That'll get into center field. Going first to third is Rodriguez, and Naylor gives the Mariners back-to-back hits here with one out.
Naylor waiting not long at all. 93 up top, up and out of the strike zone. An impressive job by the left-hander to expand the strike zone that far up, especially that early in the count. He got what he wanted.
After a 3-hit night, Randy has yet to find a hit, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, and he'll take a strike from Leiter Jr.
And I think Randy kind of juggling the bat tells you he feels like he probably wanted to get that swing off, just couldn't pull the trigger on a fastball.
That is something that's more noticeable about Randy's game this year. 12 walks coming in to the game tonight. A little more patient at the plate. Obviously seen him over the years. Not afraid to pull the trigger, swinging here and fouling it away 1-2.
Well, we know Leiter's got that big slow curveball. Just want to bounce it if that's going to be the case.
Hunter taking off, and Naylor, and that will get the crowd going. Second and third here for the Mariners.
Now that double play out of order.
Two count and a swing and a foul tip. Big spot for a strikeout.
Oh, that was huge. What a big pitch on Mark Leiter. This is a slider dotted up as about as good as it gets.
Brings up Rob Refsnyder for the second time here tonight. He came in to pinch hit for the DH Luke Raley. A swing and a miss. Curveball working for Leiter.
Great work by Langoliers. It's a no-go for Julio down there at third. Shea pops up, throws a little backhand at it. That's impressive.
One in the air to center field. Denzel's running in. He'll call everybody off for the final catch. The threat was looming, but Mark Leiter Jr. leaves two stranded. We'll go to the 9, 6-3 A's.
Turn game day into something even more memorable with Theme Games. You can purchase a specialty theme game ticket to receive exclusive giveaways and access to unique in-park experiences. Theme game items and experiences are limited, so you can get your theme game tickets today at athletics.com/tickets.
Taking a ride on that Ferris wheel before?
Many a time.
It's a great view up there. Good view tonight here at T-Mobile if you're wearing green and gold. The A's marching a comeback here. They're up 6-3. Delivered 3 runs in the 8th, and now it's the top of the order. Kurtz, Langoliers, Cortez. New pitcher for the Mariners as Cooper Criswell has entered the game. Kurtz out to center. And Julio Rodriguez will make the jog in for the first out.
Well, 7th appearance for Cooper Criswell. ERA sitting at 2. He's got a sinker, a changeup, a slider, and a 4-seam fastball. And right now, just trying to keep this score right where it's at. We saw his offense try to mount a little bit of a threat there in the 8th. It'll be Canzone, Young, and Rivas coming up in the 9th.
Now the Mariners just 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. So the Athletics pitching staff tonight, starting with JT Ginn and into the bullpen. As we see more bullpen action. Looks like Joe Kuna will try and get the save here tonight. Nice play by the first baseman. And Josh Naylor, he'll take it to the bag. 2 gone. Lots of traffic for the A's pitchers to work through, and so far so good. Cortez 3 for 4 tonight. First time he's had 3 hits in a major league game. Got the scoring started with the solo home run in the 4th. A's have already had 6 come from behind wins this season, 6 of the 11. Looking down another, but not before Cortez is done with his evening. Have a night. That's the 4th hit of the ball game.
And how about the Law Dog? He loves it. Cortez able to pull this just past a diving Young at second. That's that 4-knock night.
And in the air to left, going back is Randy Arozarena. He'll be at the track to make the final out. Joel Kuhnel ready to rock here in the Pacific Northwest.
Everyone has free offers on the latest phones, but T-Mobile gives a lot more. T-Mobile family save.
4 dealers. It was Soderstrom who would get the party started with a double. Jay Willie found a hole on the right side. McNeil worked a walk. Max Muncy with a sac fly. That brought Sodi in, and Law Dog opened it up with a shot to right. And the Athletics took a lead and are not looking back. Just a great job late in the ball game. String a few hits together. You're plugging a walk there from McNeil. Put a few up on the board. And now you turn things over to the big fella. Big Joel Kuhnel, 7th appearance for the right-hander. We've seen him do a lot of good work, especially at the end of ball games. He's going to get the baseball now from Mark Kotze and the Athletics, looking to take care of the 7, 8, 9 spots in this Mariners lineup. Canzone, Young, and Rivas.
First pitch to Canzone, swinging and to the glove of Max Muncy. Quick work for the first out.
Well, we've seen this from Joel Kuhnel. 4-pitch save in the Big Apple against the Mets. After taking the sweep in New York. Part of a successful road trip for the Athletics in New York. 5-1. Joe Kuhnel saw some good action.
Called strike against Cole Young. Left-handers are 0 for 9 against him, and just like that, a hit to center field. Cole Young reaches base. The switch hitter Rivas coming up.
Well, this sinker, even at 96, just creeps right back over the middle of the plate. And that's the difference with that pitch, and just a couple inches in height. And down in the zone, it's a weak ground ball.
Rivas ahead of the count, 1-0. 0 for 3 tonight is the 9-hole hitter for the Mariners. Here's the pitch, and it'll get down fair into right field. Young on the move. He's heading to third, getting waved home. Butler with the throw in. It's cut off by McNeil. And the Mariners add one back, 6-4. An RBI double for Rivas.
Back-to-back at-bats, the Mariners have just taken advantage of some errant location. This ball, you thought it might caromed off the wall, instead popped up right under that lip and just kind of sat there.
First run that Kunal's allowed here in his 7th appearance. Chance getting louder for the leadoff hitter. There's those numbers. 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position are the Mariners. Rivas out at second, and an 0-2 count for Crawford. Crawford 0 for 3 with the walk here in game 1. Here's the 0-2, lifted up, Muncy on it, into foul territory, and Muncy with the catch, 2 outs. Last chances for the Mariners with Cal Raleigh rolling to the plate.
Yeah, Mariners fans are on their feet.
Emerson and Langoliers head to Kunal for a chat.
You got to believe this is just a little reminder here from Scott Emerson. What you want to do in this moment, just reinforce your man on the mound, what he does well, why he's in this spot. Let's go get us a W right now, big fella. Go to work.
Had the first hit, the first run scored, the first RBI of the game. Took care of it with a solo home run in the first. 1 for 4 against the A's tonight. Here's the 1-0, swung on. Out to right field, coming in is Lawrence Butler, and that will be the final out in Seattle. The Athletics mount a come-from-behind win, 6-4 the final. Dallas, they have beat the Mariners for the first time this season, and it gives them a nice chance to start this road trip out right.
You told me I couldn't ask for more at the beginning of the ball game. That was in regards to the weather. I told you I was getting greedy, and I wanted a Game 1 Series W, and the boys delivered. How about Shooter Ginn? 5 1/3 innings from the right-hander. Did a phenomenal job of holding this offense for the Mariners at bay. And you watch this offense for the Athletics, Jenny, string together at bat after at bat after at bat, and in big spots late in the ball game, eventually broken open with that knock from Lawrence Butler. Carlos Cortez logs his first career 3-hit and then 4-hit ball game. In this A's offense, it looks like starting to come to life just a bit.
Coming to life at the right time. They set the stage here in Seattle. with the victory tonight, 6-4. Tomorrow, it'll be Jacob Lopez's turn to start for the Athletics. He'll be opposed by Luis Castillo. Tonight, it's Hogan Harris getting the victory. Joel Kuhnel picking up another save. 4 for 4 this season in save opportunities. Athletics improved to 12-11. A fun post-game show ahead. Stay tuned. Ace Cast on NBC Sports, presented by Toyota, starts now.